Today's practice will be a simple, short standing flow for you to fit into your day if you're a little more pressed for time. And for those of you who've been working with weight with me, if you have the ankle weights, you can strap them on and it'll add a little more spice to the practice, as well as maybe a sense of deep grounding to the earth, connection to the earth. So if you don't have them, don't worry, you don't need them for this practice at all. We'll start in a seat, and if you want those two thick blocks for your standing postures, grab them, put them at the top of your mat. Sometimes they can be useful, or in Thunderbolt, sitting up on them in the seated postures. And we'll begin in a seat. So get yourself grounded, and here's an invitation for you. You might close your eyes, put your hands somewhere that's comfortable. Take a few moments to drop into feeling your breath. Maybe scanning your body and noticing if you've got some tension that's also got a hold of you. And is it possible to let your weight sort of drop down into gravity and then feel her rebound force coming up through your body, up through your spine, connecting down to the earth. And if you've got any pain or fear, which we all have at some point, and if it's happening now, or if you've got something that's got a hold of you, got your attention, the invitation here is to say to it, thank you. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for trying to protect me. And also, I'm okay right now. Let's take a breath in. Exhale half of the breath out. Might open your eyes, pause there, and then exhale all your breath out. Feel the bottom of the breath. Let's do that again. Inhale to the top. Pause, exhale half of the breath out. Pause, exhale all the breath out. Stay nice and tall in your spine. Inhale all the way to the top of the breath. And exhale. Let's take a side bend, lean out to the right, circle your left arm up, out, and over. You might hold onto your head here, or even keep your left hand down by your side. And find your own feeling of side stretch there. You could even lean so far that you get onto your right elbow and your left hip comes off the ground. Maybe you start to encourage the left hip to come back to the ground. Look up, explore that, push the ground away. And then use that top arm to help you come all the way up. Push with your bottom hand and lean it over to the other side. A little or a lot, maybe your right sit bone comes off the ground as you lean left, opposite of me. You can hold your head. You might stretch through that top arm. And drop into your breath. Let's come all the way up to center here, and either take your right leg in front, and you can flex your feet if you like, or if you like, put your right ankle and your right shin on top of your left, so you're coming more into box shape. And then walk your sit bones back and start to lean in. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. You can place your elbows on your top shin, if you can reach there. Maybe even your elbow into your foot if it's on your knee. Give it a little knead and take a couple breaths. Might lean all the way forwards, maybe even offer your palms up and let your head hang. Take a couple breaths wherever you are, wherever you've landed. Notice the gentle bobbing up and down of your breath. And let's press down through the sit bones, come on up. And switch the cross of your legs, so either your left shin in front, or if you like that left shin on top, a little flex through the foot. It's like you're standing on your feet. Walk those sit bones back. Take a breath in and lean in. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. So elbows to knees, your choice. Maybe you get that elbow into the foot, into the arch of the foot. And explore giving yourself attention instead of paying attention. And there's something free about that. So when we pay, there's like a debt. And when we give, it's free. It's free flowing. Practice softening your hands a little bit. Take a breath in and out. Maybe come a little more forwards if that's appropriate. And then heavy in the sit bones, come on up and unhook through your legs. Let's come onto all fours here. Move that prop out of the way and start to shift forwards and back. Press the hands into the ground, press the knuckles under the fingers into the ground. Straighten your arms. And then come to neutral so your shoulders are more over your wrists and pop up onto the knuckles underneath your fingers, and see if you can root down the knuckles and then aim the shoulders over that line and slowly lower, decelerating the lower, slow it down, and then pop up onto the knuckles, shift those shoulders a little forwards, giving a really big stretch to the palms of the hands, and slowly lower down. Beautiful. Tuck the toes. Come up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. So you can take a big knee bend here. You can widen your feet apart from each other. This is your practice. So move around in ways that feel like they're self-soothing, feel like they're getting into the spots for you. Continually scanning your body and attending to your needs here. Such a huge practice to attend to your own needs. Big mood elevator to do that. Okay, so we're gonna bend our knees, step or hop, however you like, to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen out 3 times. We'll exhale, fold in, let your head aim for the ground. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in, aim your head for the ground. Let's inhale, lengthen out. You might even take your hands behind the calves and pull yourself in as you fold in. Then take your arms out to the sides, weight your heels and come all the way up to stand. You can look up here and exhale, take your hands down by your sides. So nice. Okay, let's hook our thumbs in front. Take our hands forwards and up, maybe a little back bend into your upper chest, root the center of your heel. And then exhale, take your hands by the sides of your body, take them behind you. See if you can interlock your hands behind you. Breathe in, come a little bit up, and breathe out, fold forwards, letting your hands fall behind you. Fingertips to the floor here. We'll take the right foot back. You can always use your blocks. Drop the back knee on top of the foot. And on the inhale, press into the foundation and come up into your lunge with the back knee down. Let's exhale into downward facing dog. Up and back. We're gonna inhale to a plank here. Exhale, take your knees, your chest, and maybe your chin to the ground, and tuck your tailbone a little. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then kind of slide forwards onto your pelvis. Push your pelvis down, untuck your toes, and arc your upper back into a cobra. You might even squeeze those shoulder blades together here if that's useful for you, and lengthen the back of your neck. And then on your exhale, up to a plank or up to your knee plank, and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg comes forwards. Back knee on top of the foot down. Keep inhaling if you can, or add in an extra breath and come up into that low lunge. And then as you exhale, back toe tucks, and you step forwards into a forward fold. Might be a couple steps, might be a big step forwards. And then inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, you could look up. Release your hands by your sides. Hook thumbs. Inhale, come up and back. Arc into your upper back. See if you can lengthen out in between your ribs. Exhale, hands slide by your sides as you forward fold. Interlock your hands, or maybe you grab your wrists. Come up a little bit, and on your exhale, fold. Hands to the floor of the blocks. Left foot back into that long lunge, back knee on top of the foot down. Big inhale brings you up, maybe a little up and back. Exhale brings you into downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, tuck tail, squeeze shoulders. Inhale into your cobra, press pelvis down. Exhale, plank or knee plank to downward facing dog. Left foot forwards, inhale, back knee, top of the foot down, come all the way up, maybe reach a little up and back. Exhale to a forward fold. Sometimes you see some kind construction workers by my door. Inhale, come all the way up. It's like spot the construction workers sometimes as we get the siding done. Exhale, hands down. So good. One more time, both sides. Hook thumbs, reach up and back. Yeah. Exhale, fold, take your hands behind you, interlock them, breathe in, come a little bit up. Breathe out, fold chest to shins or knees. Hands down, right foot back. Back knee, top of the foot down. Inhale, come up, maybe up and back a little. Exhale your way to your downward facing dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Tuck tail, squeeze, shoulders. Slide it into a cobra. Upper back wakes up, back of the neck long. Exhale to knee plank or full plank, downward facing dog. Right foot forwards, back knee down, top of the foot. Inhale, come up, maybe a little up and back. Exhale into a forward fold. Back foot to the front foot. Inhale, come all the way up. Describe a big circle, project out from your center, and then exhale your hands down. Hook thumbs. Inhale, last one, up and back. It's our left side. Exhale, fold hands behind, interlock. Inhale, come up a little. Exhale and fold. Hands to the floor, left foot back. Back knee, top of the foot down. Inhale, sweep it up, sink your hips, lift your chest. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, knees, chest to the floor, squeeze shoulders, tuck tail. Come into your cobra. Push your pelvis down as if someone's standing on your hamstrings. Exhale, up and back to downward facing dog. Left foot forwards, big inhale, drops the back knee and comes all the way up, maybe a little up and back. And exhale to your forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, circle those arms, reach up, look up. And exhale your hands down by your sides. Hands to hips, we'll switch it up now. We're gonna take our right foot forwards, knee up, and try not to shift your hips too far forward. So pull your hips back, buttocks a little behind you, low back long. You're welcome to straighten out that leg with weight. Pretty challenging to do that. Take a breath. Rebend the knee and then circle that right knee behind you. So you're crisscrossing and start to lower down. So some of you might use blocks to lower down. Maybe some you want to challenge yourself without using your hands. And see if you can sit down in a twist. So your left foot is on the inside of your right knee. Yeah, we'll twist. Take the left hand behind, right arm up, reach up, and then hook either your elbow or maybe your shoulder to the outside of the knee and start to spiral around. Locate your sit bones and ground into the earth. If you're using the weights, you might feel the heaviness of your feet. For some folks, you might even lean forwards, scoop that right hand under and see if you can find your hands behind you in a bind. Let's unhook from that. Now we're gonna swing our left leg in front of us and around so that now we're in a 90-90 seated position. So your left hip might be a little bit up, like lifted, that's okay. You can always slip something underneath you, a blanket. Now let's lean back and you can use your hands for this first one. Lean back and see if you can lift your right ankle up, like you're trying to take your shin close to your chest and then lower it down. Then let's lean a little to the right, towards our right knee, and see if we can lift our left knee and shin off the ground. And take a breath there. Can you also use your hands for this? Let's drop down into that. Now let's aim our torso over this right shin, like our center of our chest is gonna come right over the center of the shin. Fold in. You can take your hands, palms up, and let your head go. Take a breath in. And out. Let's come on up from there. Now we're gonna turn so that both of our feet plant. We're kind of turning to the back of the mat. Now you can use your hands for this, or you could try shifting forwards till you're in a squat. Maybe take your hands together. For some folks, you're toes are gonna be on the ground, your heels are gonna be lifted. That's a great option too. Take a breath there. We're gonna end up towards the back of the mat. So you might wanna shift your screen so it's like mid-mat. And then we're gonna come all the way up to stand and root the heels. Turn to the back of the mat and step the right foot in front of the left, almost like you're on a tightrope. Let's inhale the arms up and exhale, come into a forward fold. You might bend your knees a little. It's a little balancy, just like you're on a tightrope, and forward fold. Take a breath in. Maybe your hands are on your shin, front shin, or hands to the floor, and fold forward, seeing if you can aim your belly button for your right toes. And we're gonna reverse that whole process. So root the heels, take the arms out to the sides, come all the way up while you're on your tightrope, and exhale your hands down. So shift your weight into your left foot, take your right knee up, move your hips back. You can have your hands to your hips. For some, straighten out your left leg. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Take that left leg behind you so it's like a crisscross. You can use your hands on the ground, or maybe for some you start to lower down, untuck your left toes and sit down into your twist. Right foot is on the inside of the left knee. Okay, so hook your elbow on the inside of that left knee, turn so you're looking back to the front of your mat. You can take the outer shoulder, maybe scoop that left hand under if it's available, and find a bind. Totally up to you. You can also hold onto your knee and use that pulling action to drive you into the twist. See if you can let your weight drop down through your sit bones here. And then we'll untuck that right foot. Take it into that 90-90 position so you're leaning out to the left side of your mat. Take a breath here, okay? So let's see if we can lean back, use your hands, or not, a little more challenging not to use your hands, and pick up that left shin, take it in towards your chest. And then drop it down, lean a little over that left knee, and see if you can pick up that back foot. Maybe even it's like you're playing hacky sack and your outer ankle is kicking up. Your knee is dropping down. Might feel that in your side body. Come back up to center. Let's fold over that left front shin, over the center of it. You can work your lower and upper leg bone more to a 90-90. See how much you'd like to experience that stretch sensation in the left hip. Take a breath. Come on up from that. We're gonna turn, so we're squatting on a diagonal facing towards the front of the mat a little. Use your hands or not, shift forwards into your squat. Maybe you're on your toes, take a breath in your squat. Notice where you're holding in the back of your body, where you can lengthen and iron out the kinks in the spine. Go straight up through your head, and we'll stand up. So even if you're in a toe squat, whatever kind of squat you're in, aim your head straight to the ceiling and stand up. Turn your right toes forwards. Take your left foot directly in front of your right, tightrope walking. Arms up, inhale, exhale, fold forwards. So find your balance there. Maybe using your blocks. You can always take your blocks with you and fold. Find a breath in, find a breath out. And then root into the feet, come all the way up to stand, arms out and up. And we're gonna exhale right into Samastitihi, equals standing to the top of the mat. Okay, so hands to hips, we'll do that same sequence one more time. Hips back, back ribs up, root your left foot, right knee up. Maybe straighten it out. Inhale. Exhale. Slow motion, wow, that's special with the weights. Take the right foot behind. Use your hands or not, start to lower into your twist. Right knee on the inside or the outside of that left ankle as you lower down. Maybe you decelerate the lower. Then inhale your right arm up. Exhale into your twist. Hold, hook the elbow, or internally rotate, lean forwards, find a bind, lean back, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Unwind, root your right foot, pick up your left, circle it around 90-90. Adjust your legs as you need to. It's okay if your left hip is up. Lean back, use your hands or not. Pick up that right leg towards you. Notice what's working. Come on back down, lean a little right. Pick up that left leg, hacky sack the left ankle up. Take a breath in and out. Notice what's happening, your relationship with that. Come center, lean over your right leg. Take a breath in and out. Come on up, shift your legs to point more towards the back of the mat. Shift yourself into a squat. Take a breath in. Maybe put your thumbs at your eyebrows. Take a breath out. Stand up, inhale. Turn your left foot forwards, walk onto your tightrope, right foot in front. Breath in, maybe arms up, exhale, fold forwards, finding your even weight in both of your feet. Again, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, aiming your belly button towards your right toes. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Maybe a little bend in your knees. Exhale your hands back to your hips. Shift into your right foot. Take your left knee forwards. Hips back. Maybe straighten out your left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left foot slow motion behind you. Crisscross. Coming into that twist. Left knee down on the outside of the right ankle. Decelerate the lower. Notice what happens in your hips. Right hand behind, left arm up, hold, hook, or bind into your twist. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Unhook your right leg. Circle it back, 90-90, facing out to the side of your mat. Lean back, use your hands or not, lift that left shin. See if you can move your knee away from you and your foot more in towards you. Slowly lower it. Lean a little over your left, lift that right leg up, hacky sack up with your outer right ankle. Lower it down, inhale, exhale, aim into your pigeon shape. Take a breath in. Take a breath out, aim your belly button over your left shin. Come on up from there. Turn yourself back into your squat prep and use your hands or not to come into your squat. Take a breath in. Your breath out. Your practice. Stand up, head up. Turn your right foot directly forwards, left foot in front. Breathe in, take your arms up, tightrope here. Exhale, fold forwards. Fingertips to the floor, fingertips to your shin. Again, inhale, lengthen your belly button. Slightly suck in your stomach area so you're lengthening, and then soften it and let it go as you fold forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out. Weight in the heels, come all the way up. And exhale to Samastiti, equal standing. Okay, new pattern. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Step, hop, or handstand, however you like to. Back into your downward facing dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Collarbones wide, elbows move straight back. Push your toes back, come into your cobra or maybe your upward facing dog, and then tuck your chin, press into your hands and lift the space in between your shoulder blades as you roll over your toes, coming back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. So here, let's take our right leg up, three-legged dog, and then exhale it to the outside of the right hand. You can drop the left knee, keep the toes tucked under, and let the hips come forwards, sit bones come forwards. Maybe for some, if you had a block, you could even take your elbows onto the block or your elbows onto the floor. And take a couple breaths. sometimes I like to, if you're the real flexible variety, sometimes I like to put a block underneath my back thigh, which kind of creates a bit of a boundary for overstretch. You can try that. If you're really rounded in your spine, see if you can bring your chest forwards a little. And then let's replant our hands and step it back into our three-legged dog. So right leg goes up and back. And then we're going to exhale it again through right hand to the outside of the, or right foot to the outside of the right hand. This time, back knee down, toes tucked under, and start to lean back, kick your right toes up, and come back towards a runner stretch. So maybe for some, your elbows come to the ground. You can always use a prop. And we'll take a couple breaths. If you're rounding a lot, lengthen your sternum forward. See if you can feel freedom in your neck with a little side to side movement. Okay, let's shift it forwards. You can put your block forwards if you're using that. Bend your front right leg. Step it back into three-legged dog. Inhale. Maybe this time you open your right hip on top of your left and bend your knee and lift your knee nice and high. And we're going to exhale it again. Same position, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Then shift back, back knee down, shift back into that runner stretch, right heel up, and see how it would feel to slide that right leg forwards, but it's on slight diagonal, so it's like off of the mat. How would it feel to come into Hanumanasana, or the splits shape, with your foot slightly out to the side? For some, you could even elevate your back knee. You could use your blocks underneath your hands. Let's find a couple breaths. You could even bend, keep a little bend in your right knee. You could stretch out, you could drop down, maybe untuck your back toes and settle into it. Some people even, for some, you might take your left hand, turning it slightly out to the left, lean back, bend your back knee, and hook it with your right hand, twisting a little bit. Carving the contents of your pelvis into the back of your pelvis and lifting out of your low back so you feel empty at the front. And lower down, let's slide that right heel in, rebend the knee. Step back into that three-legged dog. You might bend the knee, spiral it open, look under the right armpit, and then exhale both feet down, downward facing dog. Or maybe a child's form, or come straight onto the abdomen prone. And let's take a breath in and a breath out. Pressing the arms towards straight. And sensing into any okayness that you have, any needs that you have. This is your practice. Let's take our left leg all the way up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, take it to the outside of the left hand. And you can drop that right knee down, keep the back toes tucked. Maybe you use a block to come down onto your elbows, or you stay upright. Maybe your elbows come onto the ground. Stay a little. Hands come back to the ground. Let's step it back into our three-legged dog. Big inhale, exhale that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Drop the back knee, start to come into the runner stretch. Left toes pop up, hips move back. Maybe the elbows come onto a block or to the ground. Can you widen your sits bones a little? See how that feels. Shift back forwards into that bent front leg. Step it back into the three-legged dog. Maybe bend the knee, open the hip, look under the left armpit. Maybe lift the knee a little higher. And then take that leg again forwards, plant it to the outside of the left hand, back knee down. Shift back into that runner stretch and maybe start to slide that left leg out. And see how it feels to open up the legs a little into Hanuman. Maybe there's still a bend in the front leg. Maybe there's an elevation of the back leg, sensing into your safety in this shape. You can also untuck. Right hand might come forwards. You might lift up a little, bend the back leg, find it. Carve the contents of the pelvis back and lift out of your low back. Press into the ground. Come on out wherever you are. Rebend that front leg. Step it back into the three-legged dog. Maybe you bend the knee, open the hip again, twist a little. Then come back into your downward facing dog and take a couple breaths. You can come into a child's form, drop to your knees. Clear out your low back by pressing your hips up and back, your hands down and forwards. Bend the knees, hop or step onto your knees. Come on up. If you have tender knees or a thin mat, you can put a blanket underneath your knees. Take your hands to your hips and tuck your back toes under. Press your hips a little forwards and then lift your chest up a lot. Maybe squeeze your shoulder blades together and look up with a strong neck, like a tiny chin tuck so the back of the neck is long. Take a breath. Come on back up. So that's option number one. Maybe sit back on your heels and the broken toe. Take a breath into the soles of your feet. Okay, next option is to take your hand down towards your ankle, or maybe it's more available to a block to the outside of the ankle. Left hand to left ankle or a block. Reach up with your right arm and lift out of your pelvis. That little chin tuck. Maybe you start to look behind you if it feels okay on your neck. And then circle back so you're weighting that left hand and spiral into a little twist and forward fold to come up. Right hand to either the right hip or the right ankle or a block. Circle that left arm up, out, over. Breathe in there. Maybe start to look a little behind you. And then circle back to the right to come on out. Let's do it one more time with a little bit of flow. Right arm up and out, left hand grounds, out. Right arm grounds, left arm up and out. And then back to center. Okay, so let's see how it would feel to kick our right leg out to the side. Keep the left toes tucked back behind, and then left hand to hip or left hand to ankle. Circle up and back, and take a big breath, elevating the chest, trying not to let the hips move too far forwards. It's like there's somebody pushing your hips back so you can really squeeze up through your chest. And then circle it back over to that left side and come into a side stretch over your right leg. Breath in and out there. Make this stronger. You might even interlock your hands except for your index finger and your thumb and reach without the support of the bottom arm. Come on up into center. Let's try it one more time that side. So left hand back, circle up and back. Circle back out of it. Come into your side stretch. All the way up. Release. Right toes tuck, left leg out to the side, right hand to the hip or to the ankle, circle up and back. Circle out of it into that side stretch. Your choice, use the support of your bottom arm or not. Come on up. One more time, circle up and back. Squeeze up through the sternum, through the top of the sternum. Boost the collarbones up. Right on out of that and into that side stretch. Come on up. Release your arms. Let's shift it into a downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Clear out that lower back area. Elongate the sides. Sometimes I think about an accordion stretching open in between the ribs. Bend the knees, come on through to your seat. We're gonna sit all the way back. Now you're welcome to take, if you've been having your ankle weights on the whole time, you're welcome to take them off. I love using them for Shavasana though, so invitation is, depending on how your back feels, to either keep your feet planted or reach them out. And if there's any little movements that you'd like to take before Shavasana, you might draw your knees in. Maybe take a little twist to both sides or a windshield wiper action of your knees side to side. And then we'll come into stillness for a couple of minutes. So you're welcome to widen your feet, let your knees fall in or out, stretch your legs. You can even grab onto the sides of your mat and drag your tailbone under you as you reach your low back long by lifting your chest and pressing into your head. And then try to take your back ribs as far away from your pelvis as you can. Untuck your head and center it. Maybe a little slide of the shoulder blades down the back and an elevation of the tops of the shoulders helps you feel a little more free in the neck. And you can close your eyes or maybe keep them softly open. Maybe even opening up your peripheral vision and seeing how wide your field of vision can be. You can exhale out of your mouth and slowly let your body weight drop. So noticing what's got a hold of you. And if you can practice these little acts of letting go of body tension. Maybe in between the eyebrows, around the temples, the jaw. Maybe the pelvis is feeling elevated, the abdomen's feeling taut. Can you let the head get heavy, almost like your brain is dropping into the back of your skull. Your eyes sink into the back of their sockets. Tune in to any needs that you might have, that you might be aware of. Tune in to any joy that you might feel. Maybe if it's appropriate for you, you can thank the pain and thank the fear. And also reassure them that you're okay right now. And so you might feel like staying here for as long as you have time for. Sometimes it's hard to get up. You've merged with the ground. And take your time to stay a little, or maybe wiggle your fingers and give yourself a full body stretch. You might even take your hands to your face and give your eyebrows a little massage, your temples, your jaw. I'm going to let you get up on your own time here. I just want to thank you so much for being here, for sharing this practice with me today. I'm so glad you're here. May you have peace.